Humor, the capacity to express or perceive what's funny, is both a source of entertainment and a means of coping with difficult or awkward situations and stressful events. Although it provokes laughter, humor can be serious business. From its most light-hearted forms to its more absurd ones, humor can play an instrumental role in forming social bonds, releasing tensions, and attracting a mate. Let's talk about the humor, the psychology behind the humor. This is Dr. Bibhuti. I'm a psychiatrist from upstate New York, United States of America. Stay with me. What makes us laugh? There are as many different functions and styles of humor as there are versions of the old joke. How many does it take to change a light bulb? So, why do we crack up at some jokes while others fall flat? Scientists have proposed competing explanations for why some things are funnier than others, but it seems clear that humor often involves the violation of expectation, culture, age, political orientation, and may other factors likely also play a role in what people find funny. What makes something funny? Some who have sought to explain humor point to the fact that many jokes or funny events contradicts one's sense of how things are supposed to be. The theory of benign violations purpose that something is funny when it seems both wrong or threatening and essentially harmless, as when a comedian says something shocking but clearly unserious. What counts as benign depends on the perceiver of the joke. Other theories of what makes things funny focus on the role of tension relief, certainly getting how incongruous details fit together and other factors. Why are some people funnier than others? Right? It's a good question. Let's talk about that. In addition to being skilled in toying with people's expectation, people who are funnier than most may exhibit qualities such as willingness to take risks when making jokes and a sensitivity to how their attempts at humor are perceived. More gifted comedians might also be more intelligent on average. What does a sense of humor reveal about you? Certain personality traits seems to correspond with the style of humor people tend to use. Research suggests those who are drawn to the humor as a way to affiliate with people or to suffer their own well-being are likely to rate higher on the traits of extraversion, agreeableness, and openness to the experience. More agreeable and conscientious people also seems less likely to use humor in a disparaging or offensive way, right? So, well, those person extroverted agreeableness, conscientiousness people are more or less likely to use humor in a disparaging or offensive way. Why do I laugh at inappropriate moments? Sometimes it happens, right? Inappropriate moments we laugh. That is that something wrong or right? Laughing during a funeral or at any other typically unfunny times is not necessarily a sign of disregard for others. Inappropriate laughter may be a response to tension or other uncomfortable feelings stirred by awkward or sad situation, a hard to control release valve for the unpleasantness. So basically, even though we laugh at the funeral, that should not be usually, but it's not means like this is disregard for others. Sometimes this may help you tensions, sad situation, uh, acts as a hard to control release valve for the unpleasantness. What is gallows humor? Gallows humor or black humor involves subjects such as death that are threatening or highly negative in some other way. This kind of humor can feel good and provide relief in the face of dark and disturbing circumstances, including for those who are regularly immersed in them and such as soldiers and hospital staff. Is humor related to mental illness? People with certain mental illness or mental health condition may be more or less likely to use and appropriate certain kinds of humor. There may be relationship between humor and depression, for example, with the depressed people being more likely to use self deprecating humor and less likely to use positive styles of humor. So there is some certain correlation or link between humor and mental illness. Usually they use self-deprecating humor instead of positive style humor. Am I funny? How do I know that? Not everyone can be great comedian, but many of us are the jokester of the family, the class clown, or the funniest friend in the group, given the appeal of a quick wit and a robust sense of humor. It is natural to wonder whether you are among the funny ones and whether there are ways to become funnier. How can I be funnier? Some tips for becoming a funnier person include practicing jokes tellings, taking comedy risks, knowing that some jokes will fail to get a laugh, and of course, watching, listening to, and reading the work of comedians. Do women prefer men with a sense of humor? Is that any women has likability or dislikability like the person who has him or not? Humor ability is among the traits women have indicated that they most desire in a romantic partner. It's very important, right? They appear to prioritize it more on average than men too. Funniest men be attractive in part because it advertises a potential mate's intelligence. So it plays vital role in a relationship. How do I know if I am funny? The benefits of humor. The laughter is pleasurable it in itself, but humor serves the important functions too. Being able to laugh many cushion the emotional blow of a trying experience and lighten up a tense atmosphere. As shared experience, humor can help bring friends, family, and romantic partners close together. So basically, this is the psychology by which you can bring family, friends, and romantic partners all close together. Does humor relieve stress? Humor can make stressful situation better. In addition to the positive feelings that joking and laughing stirs, some have proposed increased feelings of social support and improved ability to rethink distressing situation as a potential reason for a stress buffering effect. What are the social benefits of the humor? Humor can have a variety of social benefits, from diffusing tense situation to strengthening social bonds between new or long-term friends. It is sometimes called a social lubricant. A sense of humor may even serve as a kind of social radar, helping one detect and connect with like-minded people. Is humor beneficial for romantic relationship? Well, having sense of humor can make a relationship more satisfying, and the use of positive humor could help in resolving conflict. However, the humor can be aggressive or insulting rather than positive and playful, and the repeated use of negative humor, like teasing, might weaken a bond instead. Is laughter good for your health? It's a good question, right? In light of the positive impact humor can have on well-being, many have claimed that it can improve health as well. While the links between the humor and the different aspects of physical health, such as immune function or heart health, have been exposed, the evidence is largely inclusive. Can humor be harmful? Well, it depends on the style of the humor, right? When it is hostile, antagonistic, or degrading, an attempt at humor can divide people rather than bring them close together. Of course, the shortcomings and imperfections of others and oneself have long been folded for comedians. When exactly a joke goes too far and ceases to be funny, can be subject to debate. Well, though there is some uh, pitfalls or drawbacks of the humor, but mostly it's beneficial. Beneficial in creating bond in the society with the parents or your intimate partner. It plays very important role to be humor or funny. You can change the world basically. It depends like what kind of humor or how skill using the humor. This is a brief discussion about the humor. This is Dr. Bibhuti. I'm a psychiatrist from upstate New York. Stay safe, stay connected, and stay blessed.